Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Beyond Sports Podcast, where we BS about sports. We've got a lot of NFL news this week, boys.
It's
Preseason
back.
started.
Hey,
Woo!
Let's start this off with a little Deshaun Watson news.
ooh, fun. Where we started last week. All right.
There went my
let's do it
tingly
again.
feeling.
Yeah, I was feeling good going into this podcast until just now.
And then you said that. Yeah. and
Now
then
I
you
feel
said that.
achy.
So we can start. I mean, first of all, with his performance in the preseason game.
I mean, it didn't look great. It didn't look
One-
promising. There's
One for
a couple,
7 yards.
a couple of them were drops. A couple of them were bad
Yeah.
throws.
Like the first throw he had sailed way.
Yeah, the dude was wide open too.
wide
Like,
open. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it was a kind of a touch pass because he had to lay it over. Like there's a dude in the middle, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was something.
He missed it.
Yeah.
It was something he should have been able to hit. Yeah. So it didn't look promising for him, but it was the first preseason game, his first reps with the offense.
First
and with
time on
all-
a field
and there
not
might-
had him.
There might be some off the field distractions going on.
Oh,
That's not on the field this season.
So yeah, dude, I hope it's the last. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody who's wanting to see him play, enjoy what you're getting in the preseason.
yeah, that's probably it. I mean,
Hopefully he recorded that game because that's, like you said, probably the only one he gets.
yeah, you saw he apologized to
Oh,
the
yeah,
women
before the game.
It was
Yeah.
like,
Well, that's
No, he knows what's coming. Like,
well, that's because
I think he's finally figured it out. Too
well,
late.
if you
but-
look at Sue Robinson's report, a lot of it dealt with the fact that he showed no remorse for what he had done and her suspension. So his thought, what I've read was the thought was that he did that in order to get ahead of the NFL suspension to kind of hit, because he said he would take an 8-game suspension with $5 million in fines. Is what he said he would
Yeah.
he's willing to accept.
bro, I'm
Oh,
willing to accept half of what you're wanting to
Thank
get
you.
me.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Fuck off, guy.
Yeah, so I think that all of that was just so he could be like, look at how remorseful I am. I apologized on television. Like to
I know.
all these people from,
He really thinks he has some kind of control over this situation at this point.
oh yeah.
It's yeah.
I mean,
it's
he's
pretty
gotten
much-
away with it for this long, so it's hard not to.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just that he hasn't shown remorse; it's that he legit doesn't think he's done anything wrong.
No, yeah.
Right. Yeah. He hasn't, he hasn't confessed to anything, right? He hasn't said he actually did any of this stuff. So that apology is definitely very hollow.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely meaningless. And it didn't come off sincere anyways. Like it came off gross, actually. You felt
Yeah,
gross.
that's like
just
a-
watching. You're just like,
That's apologizing
cringe.
in the gas chamber. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have the Texans that kind of like allowed it to happen. in
Oh,
a
they
way.
definitely enabled it to
So,
happen.
Yeah, they enabled it.
They gave
better
him
word.
resources to make sure he didn't get they couldn't even
Didn't get
talk about
caught?
doing it.
Yeah. And then they just went out and just paid off the whole thing just to sweep it under the rug.
yeah. Hey, where's their punishment, right? Shouldn't their owner be getting fined and suspended?
yeah, and that's
100% agree.
I think that might be next. I think they're dealing with this like one step at a time.
One step at a time?
Because my
Because, like-
thought is they would deal with this, then Kamara, then the Texans.
And they'd much rather like the Deshaun thing be public than the teams and owners thing being public.
Yeah, and I mean,
Like if they can get Deshaun done, like keep everybody talking about that and then work on the Browns and the Texans in the background.
yeah, I mean, there's just more
Okay.
time. You have more time to worry about those the team side of it because any punishment's going to
It's true.
detail draft picks and stuff like that. So
I don't know if the Browns will be punished,
no,
but
I don't. they weren't complicit in.
I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be allowed to recoup
think-
money.
I think the consequences of their actions will be punishment enough when, their quarterback is suspended for another year and has 2 whole years straight of not playing football.
So
And they have to go out there and hope they can win and a Super Bowl. Look at the contract you gave them. That is
Yeah.
a Super Bowl contract, right?
That's more than one Super Bowl contract.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah. So the Browns are gonna
Like, giving them
they've
that
already
contract
punished
wouldn't-
themselves, although I feel like that maybe they should still be punished.
Yeah.
Number one, if you're going to give him that contract, don't you at minimum expect a 4-year stretch similar to Patrick Mahomes?
Right. Yeah.
And
Of
number
course. You're paying him more than Patrick Mahomes.
yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, you're like, for him to live up to that contract, he's going to have to outperform everyone. And he
he's gonna
won't.
have to, yeah, I mean,
He was never going to.
the
No.
expectation now is that he wins an MVP, a Super Bowl MVP. That's got to be there
Yeah.
from the team
right.
side.
Or
Browns
Goes
else
to 2 Super
not-
Bowls, wins AFC championships. Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's something I found out this week, guys, about that contract. If he gets suspended this season, everything defers. And what I mean by that is his contract doesn't actually begin until he starts playing. And
Oh
so
yeah, I
that,
did see that
and so that $1 million a year will happen next year
next year.
if he plays.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I think that's how the Browns might get out of the being fucked financially.
Yeah. Which
But still, they protect.
I'm gonna say, like, I wish that wasn't there. If this doesn't work out for them, I really want them to be fucked.
Oh, they
over
should have to
too.
eat a lot of shit off.
Yeah.
But
guys, this is just how they structure all their major contracts. I mean,
Yeah.
They say it.
every one of them.
Yeah.
If you look at it, I mean, every contract, definitely.
Sure. Right. That's exactly what it looks like, except for all the other contracts.
For they've never signed anybody to a contract.
So yeah,
All right.
and then today we had the news, or well, it wasn't really news, but people are expecting that he's gonna end up getting a year,
A year. Yeah.
which
yeah.
some people think
So,
is not
hey,
long
maybe-
enough.
Maybe 4D chess move. Goodell lets him play 1 game. So the Browns are going to be financially responsible next year.
You're suspended for 16 games from
Or
week
just-
2
or-
on.
Hands him the indefinite. Lets him
Yeah.
play like 1 quarter.
Yeah,
Let him play against Baker.
Then send security down to the field.
you're out of here.
Get him out of there.
That'd be
If
so
only,
good.
man.
That'd be a top 10 TV moment ever.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would
Please
it
let that
top?
shit happen.
Hey, sneaky. Real quick question: would it top Antonio Brown running off the
Oh,
field
easy.
mid-play?
Easy.
Really? Because that is.
You're having a dude forcibly taken off the field.
Yeah. Come on, man.
But we had a dude voluntarily take himself out of the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty wild shit. But I mean,
that,
He did run right out of his
having-
job.
he
having-
did jumping
having
jacks
In
on a
career.
having the
destroyed
front
ankle.
office come down and take you off the field would be some wild shit.
The-
Be-
in my
because a suspension came down in the middle of a game.
That would be fucking legendary. It would be legendary. I'm not gonna.
That
say
would be some wild, unprecedented shit. I'm sure dudes have walked off the field early.
Hey, man, I
Maybe
wonder
not just
what
like absolutely quit football.
In
Oh,
my
well,
mind
middle
right
of a
now,
game.
Actually,
Antonio Brown is my
whoa, whoa,
top football.
No,
moment.
somebody did quit in
Who
the
is
middle
the
of the game.
Bills? Who is the Bills?
That was Vontae Davis.
Vontae
he quit
Davis
at
retired in
halftime.
halftime.
But we didn't get to see it. We didn't
No,
get to
yeah,
see
we
him
didn't get to see the
jumping jacks
walkout.
off while his team was in the middle of a fucking play.
Like, yeah,
Like, that's another part. His offense
Out.
was on the fucking play, on the field.
Yeah.
And he's over
It's
in
the
there
best
doing
it's
jumping
great.
jacks through the fucking end zone, throwing his shit into the crowd. You're like, this dude is going off the rails.
you
And
watch a guy end his career, just walk right out of his whole career.
Wow.
You know, I mean, he made some money, so I
Hey.
think he's doing all right.
People showed up to his rap concert. I mean,
Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna last for a while.
hey, he got Kanye in his corner.
Dude, don't fuck with Vontez Burfict ever.
Don't.
Ever.
Unless Juju fucked with him and
Oh yeah, Juju
he
did.
blew that dude. Oh,
He did. That was honestly like
That's
it looked more brutal than
yeah. That's one of my
AB's hit.
top 5 favorite retaliations in NFL history.
Because Vontez deserved it.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
he
for
just
sure.
Deserved
Oh,
it for like
deserved.
a decade, dude. That dude was Everybody
Yeah,
wanted
it
to
did-
talk about
Kennedy is still-
Dominic Sue, and I'm like, this fool is
This
It
dude
didn't-
tries to end people's careers.
It didn't
but
come soon enough.
no, he was fucking Bill Romanowski just later
Yeah.
Yeah.
in an
Yeah.
era where we didn't need it again. We were like, oh, we had a Bill Romanowski, and nobody was too fond of it. You know,
Nobody, yeah, this, come on, man. All right.
God, I wonder what that version of the game would have looked like in HD with Roman. Oh, fuck.
oh,
Dude, you would just see
Dude,
the
spitting
life leave
blood and
people's
shit.
eyes. Yeah, like
Yeah.
with HD sound too, so where you could hear the fucking fingers snapping in the fumble piles.
And
And
the-
the jawbones
yeah.
crack with the helmet comes
Yeah,
under the
man.
chin.
That guy was a crazy man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Let's move on to let's talk about Bill's rookie punter Matt Araiza booming an
Christ.
82-yard punt.
Woo!
it's insane, man.
It
Field
was a
position, not an
touchback,
issue
but
for the Bills this
yeah.
year.
And dude, it looked like it was effortless, dude. Like
Yeah.
that kick did not look like he was fucking,
No.
like a huge windup. It looked pretty routine, man.
Yeah.
Like it looked like he was just like, oh, this is gonna be. If he tried,
I mean, he got a hell of a bounce.
yeah, oh yeah,
he got a great bounce, and it was a touchback.
It was still
but-
like a 60-some yard punt.
yeah. I was like, it traveled what from the 10 to the 20. It looked like, and then it had from his stand position.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was
Somewhere it
also
was-
he was also hyped as being like that fucking dude.
Oh yeah,
So it was a net of
boot.
62 yards.
yeah.
Hey,
So
not
it
bad.
was from the Bills 18.
Okay.
Ha,
Which was that the line of scrimmage?
Probably. So he was further
Probably.
back. He was
Thinking
probably
probably
around the
about that.
10.
all right.
Yeah, 8 when he caught 10.
Shit. You don't mind a touchback when you at the at your
Exactly,
own 18,
yeah.
man. Like if
I
you can
mean-
flip the field.
If he can
Yeah.
just, it looked like if he can just, track the field a little better, I think, where, pin it in the corners and stuff, because that one was like straight down the middle. I mean, so
I mean,
once he
shit,
figures
you
that out a
can-
little bit
If
better.
you that far back and you can boot it to where it's even
Yeah.
a touchback, just let him boot it.
Oh,
Don't even
dude.
try to like
You're not mad
coffin
about
corner
that.
like it. Just like fucking go. It's tough to do that coffin corner shit.
Oh yeah, it'll just be, whenever it's like more routine punts to see if he's got that in him.
Yeah.
The
As much as I like seeing those
He's
big
got the
leg
touch.
punts, like as much as I like seeing the big leg, I would much rather see a dude just snipe the 1 yard line.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Oh my god,
but
those punts
it
are
was like what
so
Sam said,
nasty.
like just the distance he cut from back there. You're like, dude, that's fucking tight. Like,
Dude's got to
Yeah, well, and for it to be for a punt to be in the air that long, I mean that
Well,
the returner's
and
going nowhere.
we kind of got used to the snipe punt with Colquitt.
With Colquitt,
I mean,
man.
It was
Yeah,
great.
that shit.
And then, when he wasn't going
Hey,
for a
we
snipe,
still
he
are-
was getting people to fumble the ball. 'cause
We
it
still
was
are with
spinning
Tommy
the
T,
opposite
man.
way. Yeah.
Townsend's been laying it in the 10 consistently, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yeah, Townsend's nice.
I'm not mad about Tommy T.
Old Tommy T.
That's right.
So yeah,
Mm,
enough about
Green
punters
Ranger.
for the week,
Yeah.
I think.
Hey. Dude,
hopefully the season. I don't.
Shit, I'll talk about some fucking punters if there's some
I
shit
mean-
like that happening.
You always love a good punter,
Yeah.
but
Punt return.
we've got a lot of NFL news to go through.
We
this
do,
week.
we do.
I could talk punters for hours. Okay.
Yeah. Or hey, our guy kicking it, right?
I was gonna say safety's
that-
making XPs. Like
Is that on here? Yeah, Justin Reed.
Oh
kicking
yeah,
it.
we'll be getting to that. So the NFLPA president calls for the league to reevaluate what is acceptable surface after the preseason opener in Chicago.
I was scared every time Mahomes took a snap. Like
I mean, it
Yeah.
every
didn't look
time, well,
great.
every time he didn't hand that ball off, I was just like, don't die. Fucking
This isn't.
don't roll your fucking ankle.
no wrong. Yeah, man.
I mean, this
like,
isn't even
wanna
something
be out
that's
there.
that out of the ordinary for Soldier Field.
It's
either. Like,
not.
it feels like
Soldier-
every year, at some point in the year, we hear something about them having unsafe.
Notoriously
Every
the
year.
worst field in the
Yeah.
NFL.
Yeah, it's every year.
No
I'm
fucking
like,
secret.
yeah,
Like fix
So-
fix your shit, Chicago. You're an NFL organization.
hey,
Right.
that's why they want that dome.
That's why they
I
went out of
know.
there.
Are they? But
That's so.
come
lame.
on. That's so your stadium's falling apart. The field, your groundskeepers, pay them some money. Get somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah,
I think they're
Like,
going to build a new stadium. Not
they
in
they want
Chicago,
to.
but
They really want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, they've talked to they
In
got
Arlington.
proposals, right? Like one for just to put a dome over that.
Oh, they've already bought land, I believe,
Yeah.
in Arlington for it. So it's common. Yeah, they would like to put a dome over it. They talked about putting a dome over Soldier Field, and people like, no. What do you no?
Because didn't one of the designs have like the one end open, so it would just bring fucking wind straight
Yeah,
through that
yeah.
thing, and it had the clear
was-
roof. So it's like we're gonna beam in some sunlight and make it nice and warm, and then we're gonna have wind gusts, just like a hurricane going through this
Gonna
damn
make it impossible for kickers to do their job.
Yeah.
kickers, quarterback.
Fry our fans.
And in their head, they're probably like, well, we can never find a quarterback that's worth a shit, so we might as well screw everyone that comes to our field.
Yeah.
Right.
These conditions.
So,
So
Bears get it
Hopefully
together.
Justin Fields
Bears get it
is
together.
good. I hope Justin Fields is good. It's just the Bears make me believe that he won't be.
I hope Justin Fields survives the season,
Yeah.
like without an injury,
Though I mean
playing on that fucking field.
Also.
yeah, right.
yeah.
So JC Tretter, the president of the NFL Players Association, he tweeted out that the NFL said that the field met minimum testing standards,
Minimum.
which is what made him call out that they needed to reevaluate what
Bare
the
minimum.
standards were, because
Yeah.
he wasn't he said from up top you could see every divot, every patch of grass missing. It just didn't look safe.
Yeah.
So, and it sucks that, it was our team that had to do it, but luckily we came away with no injuries.
No injuries. Hey.
Yeah.
So,
Hey.
So,
no, and what
Take it.
was the thing? We saw that Kyrie Santos was in Florida looking for the worst shape like fields that he could find to practice his kicks to try to, make it like he was kicking in Soldier Field. So I mean, it's pretty bad when your own kicker has to train on
has to do that. Yeah,
crappy
because now
places.
that's even more of a chance of him hurting himself kicking on those crappy ass fields.
Yep. And because he's not at team facility, they can then call it, they don't have to label him as a football injury. It'd be a non-football because it's not on facility, it's not on team time.
They probably would do something shitty like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
How do you equal that field? Like gravel? Is he practicing on gravel?
Right.
In quicksand, I mean,
I don't feel like Florida is. I don't feel like parks there look that bad. They get a lot of rain, a lot of sunshine. So
maybe he's going down to the swamps of
yeah,
Florida.
maybe
Yeah, man.
a kicking in water.
Yeah, I mean,
to his
there's
knees.
swamps down there. It might actually be easier to avoid an alligator than kick a football in Soldier Field. So I don't know. I've never tried either of them, so
You could probably kick the football at the alligator.
I probably would. It's gonna be like, ah!
Right.
So yeah.
Okay, what we got next?
Next we got the
Soldier Field sucks.
Zach Wilson injured during the preseason game.
And this is why it's important
Yeah.
for quarterbacks to A, on your first drive in the first preseason game, don't throw an interception. And B, just get out of bounds. Just go down.
Yeah.
All of this
Yeah.
could have been avoided by things.
It's a preseason.
Going out of bounds, not trying to make something out of nothing. And yeah, if he would have just had a good first drive, he probably wouldn't have been in there in that second drive.
I mean, it wasn't even like a weird move. Like,
Not really. I mean, it didn't seem.
But
It wasn't like,
it happens, man.
I guess, similar to when Jimmy G and Joe Flacco hurt themselves,
Yeah.
because neither of those seemed like big moves that you would expect to end you on the injury.
I mean, you see it.
it is only supposed to be a
Did a
couple
lot.
weeks, though.
Yeah, they're saying 2 to 4.
Best case scenario with the meniscus and
Yeah.
both moves. So
They did today say that they were going to do a scope, so they would
yeah,
have
and that,
more information probably tomorrow, I'd
Yeah.
imagine. But I guess we'll have to keep an eye on that story.
hopefully, I hope that he's okay from it. He can be out there week one.
The old mom killer.
Oh yeah, dude, Zach Wilson.
Mom.
I mean, you just want to see. I'm
No
tired of
fun
seeing the
with that.
Jets be the bottom, be the punchline. Like, let's get the new blood at the bottom, at the top of the draft.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
hard though. They do it
I just don't think there's any hope in
themselves.
that AFC East right now.
No,
I mean,
Uh,
They
think
might. They
It's the
could
Bills.
outperform the Patriots.
that was my thought. I'm like, they could sneak into the third spot of that
I'm just-
division. And then like
I'm
obviously,
not. I'm not sold enough to buy Belichick as a number 4 in his division coach.
Me
Right.
either, but
I don't think that's gonna happen.
As obvious as it
I
might seem,
don't-
I can't see them.
I think
Yeah.
all of us are, we don't think the Dolphins. We think the Dolphins we all think they'll be fairly good, but I mean, we could be wrong. I mean, they could be the worst in the division.
I mean, even if 2 is not great, like they're still gonna be successable.
I mean, they gotta.
You would think.
Their run
don't know
game
about-
is still questionable. I mean, the guys
I
they brought in
like-
are nice, but sort of injury prone on all of them. I mean, Edmonds has missed time. Mostert misses time a lot.
You know,
Sony
and I
Michel hasn't really done much with his NFL career.
and I like Mike McDaniel, but we haven't actually seen him as a head coach.
Yeah, so I mean, there
So-
are
I don't like that dude's face.
Mike
at all.
McDaniels.
What?
Yeah, Mike McDaniel. I can't stand that dude's face.
Oh, that dude's awesome,
What?
man. That
What do you mean
dude,
you can't stand his face?
I just don't like his face, man.
I
don't
get
Oh
like-
no, he's
I
awesome. I
explain
love
it.
him.
I get it. I mean,
I
I've
don't
seen
like his
Nathaniel
face, I don't like
Hackett.
the
I
way he
can't
looks.
Nathaniel Hackett. I can't stand the way that dude looks either.
What? All right.
Broncos coach, for some reason, there's just something about him that I'm like, dude. Did you
Okay.
just
I was also that way with Jack Del Rio and Jeff Fisher.
Yeah, Jack Del Rio was a piece of shit.
Jack
So
Del Rio's
Fisher-
understandable.
They
Yeah,
Fisher's a
also,
piece of shit too.
I was like, at least they look the part of what they are.
Dude,
Yeah.
I always used to call that out. Like when he was coaching, I was like, that dude just looks like
Oh,
a piece of
okay.
shit.
Yeah,
My
Mike
friends were like, how can you
McDaniel-
make a judgment. He's just
because he has Greg Williams on his
like,
staff.
oh, he just looks like a piece of shit. Turns out he was a piece of shit.
I looked up Mike McDaniel because I wasn't sure what he looked like off the top of my head, and for a second I thought I was looking at Rodrigo Blankenship.
Yeah, he looks like a barista for Starbucks. Like
He looks like one of
looks like an approachable dude.
Hey man, I
DiCaprio's
got-
lackeys in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, it looks like if you ran into him in public, he would try to, talk your ear off about his upcoming screenplay that he's been writing.
Yes.
And I get why you would be annoyed just looking at him, because like you see those people and you're like, fuck, I don't want to hear about your shitty screenplay.
Yeah, well, but man, he gives a hell of an interview. So
Oh, dude, I love the way he talks about about players and stuff like that. So I am gonna root for Mike McDaniels.
All right, moving on. We got a new couple. Was there 1 or 2 episodes of Hard Knocks? Just one so far?
Tuesday, right?
Wednesday.
Oh,
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday, my bad.
yeah, just one. Hey man, it's
Awesome.
finally entertaining again. Like Hard Knocks hasn't been good in a while.
Last time I watched was when the Browns were on after their
Mhm.
horrific season.
Season. That one was all right.
That was
It
fun. That was
but-
fun.
yeah,
Was
it
that the,
it
was
okay,
that
but
the
it
one where
wasn't
they
like-
had the coach that every time he would hut, his gut would jump? Is that the same one?
Set head! Set head! Set head! Set head! Set head! Do it again, Mike.
It's-
That's all I remember from that season.
I
if that's the same
remember
season.
Hugh Jackson taking a dip
Oh yeah, I remember
because
that too.
he made the deal like, we will win more than one game next year, and then they didn't win more than one game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was,
But
but
man,
no, this one was awesome. I
super entertaining.
love the
And
coaching staff.
It's amazing.
Already better than any episodes of the Cowboys one from last year. That shit
Yeah.
was terrible.
Man, the best thing in that Cowboys one last year was Jerry Jones putting salt on his McGriddle. When you're just like, this fucking, that was the most memorable thing from that.
Like, and
Oh,
how
shit.
old was that McGriddle? Like, it looked like he pulled it out of his desk.
I'm surprised he didn't have
been
his
saving
son-in-law
that.
putting the salt on it for him. Like, remember when he had his son-in-law clean his glasses for him?
Yeah.
God, dude's such a weird
Now
guy.
I regret not watching that.
Yeah, I didn't watch that season.
I
It
don't-
was not, dude. I tried. I couldn't get through like 2 episodes of it
So, like-
last year. It was just so fucking.
I'd love to see another Chiefs
The
one.
in-season stuff was okay.
'Cause-
With the Colts, that one was all right.
Yeah.
I
But
should have watched that one, but I didn't.
it was a little more entertaining just because it was in season, and they kind of had like that collapse at the end of the year. But
Hey, we'll get-
still, this Lions one looks better, way better than both of them last year by far.
I'd
Yeah, I
love
like-
it. Go ahead, B.
You go.
I'd love another Chiefs one, but at least we have the franchise. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of similar, but not.
And one of the rules is like you couldn't have.
Polished.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. One of the rules is you like a team. It can't be a team that made the playoffs the previous
Oh,
year.
right.
So, and you can't have a new head coach. So you have to have a team that is, bad, but not so bad that they didn't fire their coach, or their coach is still brand new. So they don't mind that he lost a bunch of games like with Dan
Yeah.
Campbell. Hey, but man, that team
Maybe
looks
we
fun.
could be on. Maybe they'll
Yeah.
give the Chiefs one of the end season ones in the future. Because I mean, the
Yeah,
Cardinals.
I guess the
make
Cardinals got
playoffs
it,
last
so
year.
I
So
guess they can do it.
that'd be cool. I mean, because
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
they're
know
always-
that I want that. I don't know that I want that around the team.
but
I don't
they,
think it serves. I don't think it serves the team any good.
no,
It doesn't. It
benefit
doesn't. The
you,
guys
but-
don't. It is a
Yeah.
distraction. Even they try to
We
stay
don't-
back and
we don't
away,
have
but
to, I don't really want to.
nah, no thanks.
All right.
I don't
So
know.
moving on, we got Lamar's contract talks.
Hey,
He said
Lamar,
that
nothing gonna happen.
nothing's gonna happen. He said he would drop contract talks once the regular season starts. So
Baltimore's got the clock ticking before they're about to fucking have to pay a shit ton of money.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind
Hey,
of think.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
need
I
to
think
get up on there.
that's already the case, honestly.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I think it's gonna get. Dude,
Yeah,
he's
if he
gonna
plays
have-
this year and he play like it, if he gets 12 wins, like he's gonna get Deshaun money.
Because I mean, think about it, like, dude, like if you look at that receiving core and if he goes out there and
Yeah, if he can put up any sort of passing numbers with that receiver,
dude, like you just have to that there. If I'm Deshaun, if I'm Lamar, I'm like
Any sort of success this year, and he's making bank.
because you haven't exactly put a great
He may play
offense
this
around him.
geniusly. Like this may be a genius play for him waiting out this long.
and everybody dogs him for not having a real
No.
agent, but this
No,
might be a
dude.
really good move.
The longer this goes, the worse it is for the Ravens. Absolutely.
It's
Like,
so shocking that an organization that's done this before and seen how bad it can fuck you is doing it again.
doing it right. Like,
You know, I mean,
Well, the thing, it's not that the Ravens haven't been trying to get a deal done. Like
I
they've
mean,
been
I'm-
trying the whole time. It's just
I'm sure they've had to have
Yeah.
offered something, right? They had to offer
you would
something.
think, but
yeah, no, they've made multiple offers and attempts to talk to his agents, but he just
his mom,
won't talk about it.
yeah. So,
Hey man, good for him. Like,
dude,
keep letting other QBs get signed, and then just see how much see how much you can get.
Well, I mean, if you understand how NFL revenue works, I mean, it's going up every year.
yeah,
of
wait it
course.
out as long as possible.
Yeah,
Which is why the Rams don't mind making some of their deals, because they know that shit's going up in the future.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, and there's certain teams have figured out how to play it like baseball now too, though,
yeah.
and use their capital to their advantage.
Yeah. So yeah.
That makes me mad. The Rams are going to be good for a long time because of that.
You know, put that shit in
They
the
have money.
signing bonus and doesn't hurt your cap. It's some bullshit.
Fuck
That's
Stanford.
right. At least they're not
And
on
hey,
our side. They
We have like one of the richest owners in the NFL. Like, come on, guy. A little bit of money. I mean, okay, you
Yeah.
did pay a quarterback a bunch of money, but
Yeah.
and Chris Jones. But anyways,
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
move on to the preseason games. So let's start with Jalen.
looked all right.
Looked awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Looked all right.
I was happy to see that because it wasn't like he would, he obviously had some checkdowns in those passes, but he had a couple of them where he really did. He pushed the coverage and pushed it downfield some and looked good. I was
Yeah.
happy with what I saw from him.
Hey,
Yeah.
man,
There.
You
Yeah.
have his stats.
6 for 6, 80 yards, a touchdown.
Yeah, it was good to
Yeah.
see.
perfect.
Opening drive. So
Yeah.
That's a great opening drive.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
yeah, it's good.
and I mean the
It's not-
touchdown throw to
Sounds like-
Goddard was nice. You
Mhm.
know,
Oh yeah.
kind of like that throw we were talking about that Watson missed. It was similar to that. He had to drop it in over coverage to him. Goddard was
Yeah,
able to
hey,
get it, make a play.
Your offense this year should be humming. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean,
really going.
you really saw how AJ Brown can open things up out there for other guys. Because I mean,
Wow.
coverage
Oh.
defenders are going to follow him, and right there they flooded that side with Goddard and Brown, and it's just like, all right, pick your poison. We're going to hit one of them. So
Yeah,
I'm
pretty good.
excited to see it all gel out there.
Hey, man.
Hey, and you know the NFC East is you
Wide
never
open.
know what's gonna happen there.
Wide
so
open.
it
It
could be-
looks top heavy, you know, like
Mhm.
you got it's like a 2-team battle, it feels like.
Eagles, Cowboys. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Washington's the one that I could see if their defense can get back to where it was, 2 years ago. They
Man,
could be problematic and be a surprise.
if
Can I
Carson
just
can
throw in
learn
a
from
little
any of
Wiley?
his mistakes.
He won't.
Yeah. Learn from
But-
one of your mistakes, Carson. Just one.
Just one of them. Learn from one mistake, and I just don't think you will.
It could be the one, it could be the mistake that, where you broke both your ankles on one play, or the mistake where you threw the
Threw the
0-yard pick
Straight up in
six.
the air.
Any of these mistakes, just learn from it. Just like,
Left-handed shot put.
sometimes taking a sack is okay. Sometimes throwing the ball away.
At
is
least it wasn't a butt fumble.
I think I would rather take 5 butt fumbles a year over the shit Carson Wentz provides you with.
I don't know, man. At least Carson Wentz is gonna be like wildly entertaining. We're just like, I guess the butt fumble is too, but
Mark
5
Sanchez was
fumbles.
entertaining as hell. He was eating hot dogs on the sideline mid-game. I mean, shit.
I think the butt fumble is still the most embarrassing play of all time.
I do too. It's at least up there. I mean,
It's
they
a
played
great
They played
play.
that on ESPN
Greatest play of all
for
time.
Yeah,
how many years?
I mean,
Sure, they
Noah
still
Stanton
play it.
retired from the not top 10,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
if anybody's going to take that pressure off Mark Sanchez, if anybody's going to take that heat off,
Oh,
it is
for
Carson
sure.
Wentz.
Carson
Carson
Wentz.
Wentz. He got very close to taking the
He
heat
can do
off the
something
butt
like that.
fumble multiple times last year.
Yeah,
Like you
that's-
said,
I
Sam. He
mean-
broke hurt both of his ankles on one play. He threw a 0-yard pick six. I mean, he did the left-hand shot puts. I mean, there was so many opportunities for him to top the butt fumble. And
The gauntlet of bad decisions.
I'm excited to see the bad decisions he makes this year.
Oh yeah. I
I
can't
will,
wait.
I will say I
Especially against
admire
Commanders.
Carson's belief in himself.
Oh, absolutely. He thinks every play
Hey,
is
man.
going to be
He
incredible.
saw Mahomes throw left hand and be like, I can do that.
I mean, he got, hey,
Mahomes,
how
wait
much
till
he's
Wentz
getting
is gone
paid.
before you try the behind the back, please.
Dude,
Wait.
there's like one play per year where I see Carson Wentz and I'm like, it reminds me of that peak year he had, in 2017, where you're like, he was an MVP candidate and all that. Like, he had every year he has one play that I'm like, oh, maybe this is the point where he can stick
it
it
around.
together and get back to make him. And then no, the next play he fucks it up.
Not gonna happen, guy.
Like, there'll be one play a year where the whole defense collapses on Wentz and he just pops out of there and gets like a 20-yard run. And you're like, man, that was a good decision, Carson. That was nice. And then
He made a great play.
next play, he fumbles the
That's-
snap.
Yeah. So we had the Niners Packers game. Trey Lance looked excellent.
Yeah.
He went 4 for 5, 92 yards and a touchdown in his one drive.
That 76-yard touchdown bomb. That was nice.
Niners are gonna be scary, man. If he can
Yeah.
look this good all year, dude.
He's
like,
definitely a
watch
lot
out,
more
Ryan.
exciting than Jimmy G.
Yeah.
So
We'll see. We'll see how long it takes the league to figure him out if they can, and then how
Yeah.
long he can take to respond to that.
Well, and the
if you
other thing
can.
I'll say too is be careful evaluating rookie quarterbacks week one because everybody's running a super vanilla defense.
yeah.
That's all.
I mean,
Yeah,
the good
it's the preseason, so yeah, definitely take everything with a giant grain of salt.
Yeah.
The good thing with Trey coming into this year is that he did get a sit for the majority of last year and learn from Jimmy.
Mhm.
And he did also get in there when Jimmy got hurt, and he got some real life reps that were meaningful. So, he could come out there and, it could be similar to when Mahomes got out there with the Chiefs, to where it's not a huge drop off from what you had before, and it might be
And
takes it to the next step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
That looks-
I still think that if Tua would have been allowed to sit that whole year behind Fitzpatrick, that he would be a lot better going
Okay.
into the season.
Or if he was at least allowed to finish out some games
Yeah, I mean,
his first year.
a
Like,
lot of things the Dolphins did wrong there. We don't need to dig into all of them.
Right.
But
There's
I do just like, I think same with Fields,
Yeah.
if he would have been given more time to sit and watch, and because I just feel like he was another one of those guys that needed more time to watch the game.
and they tried. Kind
They
of,
did.
but they gave him Andy Dalton.
Exactly.
Which, I mean, man, Andy Dalton was one of the top QBs in the league for like a solid 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, he had a good
Desean
stretch. I mean,
Like the heyday with him and AJ Brown, it was
AJ
it
Green,
was strange.
great.
And their Marvin Lewis, right?
Yeah, and they had that because they had a nice defense. Just the problem was that defense always had one player who, at the end of each game, wanted to give up a 15-yard penalty and put the opponents in the field goal range.
Yeah. And then when they got into the playoffs, Andy Dalton did kind of fall
Yeah.
off it.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I don't remember exactly his stats, but yeah, I remember he was not that good when it came to playoffs.
But I think the one that they were the closest to winning was when Burfict hit Brown
Yeah.
and gave him that concussion. The Bengals were actually, you were like, oh, Andy Dalton's finally going to get a playoff win. And Vontez Burfict.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not gonna hit.
So yeah, you talked about Justin Fields, their game against the Chiefs. He
Yeah.
went 4 for 7, 48 yards with the passer rating 78.3, rushed for 10 yards, and was sacked twice. So
He had a couple really nice throws.
yeah, he had a couple of great looking throws.
Yeah.
I feel like
One
maybe
to
he
move-
needs a better offensive line.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
'cause he had
QB
one
needs
throw
better
to
everything.
Mooney that was really nice, and then one to the other side
Mhm.
to Taji Sharp that was
Yeah,
Yeah,
both
but
were really good plays.
they just haven't put enough around that guy.
Yeah, I mean,
no.
their offensive
it's-
line
it's
really
gonna-
is.
It's gonna be bad for him, man. It's gonna affect him. And I don't know, with a young QB, when you don't put the right pieces around him and when you have failure from the beginning, that can be hard to overcome.
Yeah,
So I think
For
he's got all
sure.
the talent to succeed. And he should be able to, but you also have to put the right team around him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you got to protect him, and
I'm not sure the Bears have done that. Or the Bears are like trying to tank to get talent to put around him, but
Do the Bears even
he's
know
too
how to do
young.
that?
Well, they've got a brand new GM, so we're gonna find out.
and coach.
They're trying to kick
Yeah.
Roquan Smith out the door.
Well, I don't know if
he's
they're
trying to-
not
he's trying to run out the door.
He's just trying to get paid. He's just trying to get his bag. That's all he's trying to do. I don't feel like Roquan. I'm surprised we didn't put that as a topic. We can talk about now. I think he's just trying to get paid. Like in his statement, he's like said that the owners could, still resolve it. So he was leaving it open to stay there. And I think the guys just want to get his money.
I just think for the Bears
And-
side of things, they just got to look and be like, does he fit your timeline? And I think that's something that they have to be realistic about is giving him an extension, does it really tip the needle
I mean,
for you guys? I mean,
it can help. It can really help solidify your defense, though. If you have
yeah,
if he is like the QB of your defense, then yeah, it might be worth
I
it.
say, does he have the green
Like
dot?
if that is their guy,
Does he have the earpiece?
that's the guy calling your plays and leading that defense, and you want to build up a good defense, and you're the Bears, that's kind of what you do throughout your franchise, at least when you've been successful.
yeah. No,
So,
I mean, he's a beast. I mean,
and I get where they're like, well, you're not the best in the league, but and you're asking to get paid like you are. So I can almost understand where they don't want to
Do we know what he's
pay
asking for?
paid, but yeah, I don't even know what he's asking.
don't know
for.
what he's asking for, but he had 163 combined tackles last year.
So come on.
I mean, that's
I'll take that.
That's a lot of action.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
goddamn tackles.
3 sacks, an interception for 53-yard touchdown.
For a linebacker,
Yeah,
like
I mean,
who's not an edge rusher linebacker, for like a
Yeah, I
middle
mean-
linebacker, that's It's not bad at all. I mean, he's got the tackles. That's exactly what you want, man.
Yeah, I mean, you look
Like-
at his tackles, and every year he's been over 100 tackles.
So, like, come on, what are you doing? Like, I mean, I think there may
Five
be.
combined tackles.
I mean, how much better are you going to do in the draft or free agency?
No, and I mean, he's younger than I thought, so I think, yeah, you.
Right, because he hasn't gotten paid. He's still on
Yeah,
his
this is his
deal.
rookie. He's still on his rookie deal, isn't he?
Yeah,
Well,
you're
he's trying to get his bag.
25-year-old. So
Get paid.
Pay the
so
man.
I think
give him
Yeah,
his
I
money, or
think-
somebody else will.
Yeah,
It's-
for
I-
sure.
From what I've heard, it's more a situation where it's a new regime and they just don't want,
Oh yeah,
like, they want to bring in their own guy, or they don't want
no,
to.
but man,
They don't want to re-sign the last guy's draft pick because
like,
NFL
Huber,
GMs really are like that.
get-
dude,
get
we're
the
seeing it
fuck
in
over it.
Vegas right now. I mean, they're doing the same shit. But of course, the last GM didn't draft worth of shit except for Josh Jacobs.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so
And
and they're shopping him around, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they didn't pick up his option. They didn't pick up any of their
And in
options.
preseason.
Makes sense, but
Honestly, like I have no problem with any team trying to, like, unless you've got unless you're the
Dude,
fucking Titans or
look,
the
man.
Colts. But I don't have any trouble like with teams shopping their number one running back. It's not a huge
no, I'm just
position, and you can get teams to overpay.
no, I agree.
Or you
I'm
might
not-
be able to. You might, yeah. I get that. But with a guy, like Roquan, if he is that guy on the defense, and you're a new regime, all right, but this guy can play. Like, he can. He can do the job. You've seen it. There's plenty of tape on it. I don't think if he's a middle linebacker, so I don't know if switching the defense, did they switch up from a 3-4 to a 4-3? Does that I don't know what
if
they
play
did
with two or
there.
three linebackers.
Maybe that's tough to try to, if he is the quarterback, you're giving him a whole new system. But I'm sure he can handle it. He seems very intelligent.
yeah,
Because he's handling things himself. He's being his own agent. I mean, I'm sure he had some other people look at that letter that he wrote, but like I don't know, man. I
the
think
Bears are switching from a 3-4 to a 4-3 defense.
okay, so I don't know if he like doesn't maybe they're scared he doesn't fit their scheme, but that this guy's talented. Like you said, do you really think you're gonna find something better?
Yeah, it just seems like he's the type of dude you'd want to find a way to fit into your defense.
yeah.
No matter
And-
what pace you run.
It's a lot
Also,
of tackles.
If you can get this guy to, trust the GM, that will help in later signings as well with other guys you maybe want to keep around. If this guy can vouch for you, not if you piss off one of your best players, right?
Yeah. I mean, when you
then
compare him to
Compare.
Darius Leonard, if you compare the two of them, because that's
Darius Leonard, maybe the best linebacker in football. I mean,
but the coach for the Bears was the defensive coordinator for the Colts, so they're pretty comparable. I mean, last year Darius Leonard had 122 combined tackles. He had 4 interceptions, though. I mean, he's more of a ball hawk out there for sure. But I mean, career-wise, he has, I think, one more career sack than Smith. So
Yeah, I wonder if he has a similar, because in the modern NFL as a middle linebacker, you got to be able to defend the pass.
yeah, and it looks like
I wonder if
Well, and
that's
we
not
don't
an
know-
efficiency.
we don't know how much Eberflus has to do with the building of the roster either.
oh yeah, I mean,
or how much Pulls is really.
but I'm
that
just
could
saying
all
because you're
be him.
switching from. It seems like because they are switching to a similar defense to what was run in Indy.
Right. Yeah, of course. They got their
You know.
defensive coordinator. So
Yeah, so this year will tell for Smith if he
man,
pulled out
nothing better for your young QB than to bring in a defensive coordinator as your head coach. So
Yeah, I
fantastic.
agree. I agree.
Hey, New England's proven that.
Yesterday. So yeah, we had Carolina Panthers versus Washington Commanders. Carson Wentz, 10 for 13, 74 yards, no touchdowns. I did read his average was about 6 yards per throw. So I mean, not great on the distance, but It sounds like he was making smart decisions.
Hey, there
I
you
mean,
go.
take
That's-
what he's got to do, man.
Carson, turn into a game manager before you try to turn back into your MVP form.
And on the other side of the ball,
awesome.
May never
Baker
happen, but
Baker Mayfield went 4 for 7 for 45 yards, 0 touchdowns,
0 picks.
0 picks. So
Darnold though got a touchdown.
efficient.
Yeah.
Efficient.
But that day
Did
looked
Darnold
like,
get to play longer or
it looks like he hit 2 for 3
no?
for 16 yards and a touchdown. PJ Walker
All right.
looks like he soaked up the most of the reps.
yeah.
Matt Corral
Right.
was awful.
You do.
At
Yeah.
a 1.2 yard average.
I know on the Commanders they said Sam Howell, their rookie, he looked pretty good. He went 9 for 16 for 145.
Hey, okay.
So they might have
Not
something
terrible,
developing
but-
there in their rookie. But it's
Well,
week 1
so-
preseason. Well, probably going against the 2s, maybe
Yeah,
even
2s and
3s.
3s for sure.
So it's just something to watch.
Okay.
Another big name guy we saw this weekend, Pickens.
Hmm.
Three receptions, 43 yards, 1 touchdown, and that touchdown was pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, Sky Moore's good. Stop it.
I would have been more upset with the Pickens play if we didn't see something similar out of Sky Moore.
Sky Moore. Yeah.
But we saw that field awareness is great to see from Sky, and I was happy to see it for Pickens as well. I mean,
Yeah. So they're both going to be very good wide receivers.
yeah, and as soon as Pickens went to the Steelers, you're just like, well, fuck, he's gonna be great.
Yeah. Hey man, look. Yeah. Well, yeah. The Steelers are great with wide receivers.
Yeah.
And we got a guy who fits, Andy Reid's style better, right? The small, speedy guy, the Andy Reid special. So, look, it's fine. But Pickens
I
look
don't
good.
talk about George Pickens.
Somebody's still a little mad. So, hey man, look, when Sky Moore has more yards and touchdowns this year, well,
And next year when we get to see, Justin Ross, it'll be nice. We'll be okay with it then.
wow.
Oh man.
You
God,
sure are optimistic.
if that works out.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be optimistic at this time of year. You can't be
No, I
pessimistic.
don't.
right off the bat. Not right off the bat, Sneaky. Wait until week 2. We save pessimism for once the season starts. You're optimistic before it does.
Oh, okay. All right. Then Tom Brady out for
yeah. There is a name that
Week
we're
1.
obviously missing in our preseason games. That's Patrick Mahomes. If you want to see that, you can go over to a video that will come out after this video when we talk Chiefs.
More
But
Chiefs
yes.
than we have.
Tom Brady's out
Yeah.
for a couple weeks.
Mhm.
Away from the team for personal matters. Seems like it was agreed upon before camp even opened. So
Like Tom Brady needs to be there for
Yeah,
preseason and
right.
training camp.
He's been to enough preseasons.
Right.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of more shocking that he even went to training camp.
I mean, you gotta, maybe try to dust off knock off the rust, dust off the whatever I'm looking for here. You gotta,
I just
move it up a little bit and I don't
You guys are being shockingly easy on Tom Brady.
what's that?
You guys are being shockingly easy on Tom
who
Brady.
gives a shit? He missed some time. Yeah, but
What are we gonna-
When there's
anything
okay,
crazy.
when
Yeah,
he's
those guys
coming in,
are-
when he's coming into the season, already questions surrounding how committed he is to this team. He takes out, he just leaves training camp.
because he was gonna go to another team and now he's leaving training camp. Does he even
Yeah.
care about the team, guys?
Hey, and now that he's out of training camp, he doesn't have to answer a bunch of questions about what was going on in the offseason.
That's true.
So that's kind of convenient for him.
That is
right?
nice and convenient. I'm sure people will forget about it by the time he's back.
Yeah. Yeah. So like the only other thing I've heard is that his mom has had cancer for a while, and she might be in her final days, and so
Yeah.
it could be that.
Yeah,
But-
man, you don't know. It's
Yeah, I
and
mean,
it's
like I
fine.
said, I'm not. The reason I'm not upset about it is because, like, It's like I said, he told him before camp even opened that he was going to miss these days. He
Right.
showed up when he didn't need to. I mean, we've
It's
seen
not- it's
we all
Tom
lived
Brady,
through the Brett Favre
missing.
saga where he
Dude.
was not
It's
showing up.
it's because it's Tom Brady missing some preseason.
Yeah,
It's
the
not
dude,
a story. It's
the
not a
dude's
story. We don't need to
more
make a
Super
story.
Bowls than every team in the league.
Okay. That's why we saved it for the very last NFL topic, because it's not a topic.
Yeah. Like I get what you're saying. He doesn't have to
Barely
answer
squeaked
questions
in.
now about his offseason flirtation with the Dolphins, but on that one there,
how he's directly involved in straight up tampering and
Yeah. Yeah. No,
how much he knew about said tampering, which is
all of it.
everything he orchestrated.
But he was like, I
opposite of
can't get in
Brett
trouble.
Favre. He is the opposite of Brett Favre. Brett Favre was like, I really want to play for the Vikings because fuck the Packers. They only got me one Super Bowl with as great as I was. And Tom Brady's like, like Patriots, they did a lot for me, like we won a lot of Super Bowls there. I can continue to help them out by not being there by fucking over the Dolphins a little. Like I'll tell them I really want to play for them, and like they're a dumbass,
yeah.
like
I'm still pretty sure that was Belichick's doing the whole time of fucking over the Dolphins.
I mean,
But by sending the wrong Brian a text message.
yeah, they work in cahoots, Tom and Bill work
Maybe, I don't know.
And the one thing I'll add to that is has Tom Brady earned the benefit of the doubt?
No.
No.
I guess not.
Okay.
I guess
Okay,
not.
there we go.
But it's Tom Brady missing preseason. It's not a story. Why are we still talking about it? Tim, cut out this whole part.
All right, moving on. We got a little MLB news it's a little old at this point, but we haven't talked since then. But the Tatis suspension, he was suspended 80 games for violating Major League Baseball's performance enhancing drug policy, and that's without pay.
Man, it's just disappointing.
Yeah,
So
it really is. And like, okay, so he put out a statement. He said, I have been informed by Major League Baseball that a test sample I submitted returned positive for cholesterol, a banned substance. It turns out that I inadvertently had taken medication to treat ringworm that contained cholesterol. I should have used resources available to me in order to ensure that no banned substances were in what I took. I failed to do so. No shit.
Yeah, you've
Like-
got a team doctor for a reason.
Exactly.
You get everything through the team doctor for a reason.
You not been paying attention to the Deshaun Watson thing? Who's the team guy?
Yeah, right. Come on, man. What are you doing? Like, I'd love.
It sucks because I love
believe him, but,
Tatis.
like, yeah, dude. That's why it's so disappointing. Just because the Padres had like the most exciting team in the league, and now you're like, well, I guess now I gotta watch the Mets. Like,
And I know I'm not in the popular opinion on this, but I just say let them do it. Let them take the steroids in baseball. It makes that shit way more exciting.
yeah, but I mean,
The best year of baseball in my life was watching Mark McGuire and Sammy.
Yep. I
Out
was
home
actually
run.
going to bring
there's
that up.
certainly
I ever liked baseball.
What's that?
That's the only time I ever liked baseball. Like
Dude,
I would go turn the TV on to watch those games.
Dude, you're watching that home run race, like just captivated. You have two dudes who have filled their body with so much banned substances that are just rocking the ball out of the park. And I'm like, dude, give me more of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but you can't do that though. Like, you can't encourage a culture where they're like, inject your shit, yourself up with this shit that's gonna like ruin your life, but after you've retired. And that's gonna, send you into like a roid rage and fucking change it, like how your brain chemistry fucking works. And,
Right. So yeah.
So yeah, that really sucks. It's disappointing that Tatis did that because
I
man,
was
the
excited to see
Padres,
them in the
you're
playoffs.
And I mean, it's not that they still won't be there and they won't be somewhat exciting because they have Soto and Machado, but yeah, man, that really like puts a damper on it. You're disappointed in the player too. His teammates like are pissed at him. They got to be, well, they got to be seething a little bit.
Right.
And now I got to watch, the Mets. So in the National League.
Honestly, the Padres are probably happy because it's a built-in excuse. I mean, they were They were probably sitting there like, shit, if we don't fucking win this year with these guys, we're screwed. Then he got suspended. They're like, okay, at least we bought ourselves another year.
Maybe Tatis gets a little cheaper on his next
I mean,
contract.
he's already on a 13-year contract, right?
Oh, it's
Can he just sign a big contract extension?
I think you're
13,
right.
13 years, like 350 million.
Well, then fuck it.
I mean, dude already got paid, so
Yeah. If you're him, you're like, yeah, fuck it.
he was just working on his next contract.
For 13 years.
Gotta put up big stats in these 13 years to get that next 13.
Yeah, 2021, he signed a 14,340.
Okay.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew
Completely
it.
forgot-
It
completely
sounded
forgot
right.
about
I just didn't
Yeah.
have the numbers.
It
in
must
my
have been
head.
13 years left when I saw it. Then
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is a huge fucking contract.
Yeah.
And now he's suspended. Ouch.
Yeah.
he plays with the guy who turned down the 15-year contract.
All right. Well,
I
let's
can't imagine taking
let's
that
move
job
away
off,
from
man.
baseball. Yeah, NBA.
NBA.
Hey.
Start
So-
out. Well, we could start out with Bill Russell, his number being
Absolutely.
retired. I mean,
Yeah.
Russell, legend.
Well deserved. First league-wide retiring of a number in the
Seems
NBA.
right.
Very well deserved.
Yep.
Seems right.
Not a fan of Miami's decision to hold off on raising the number 6 into the rafters until LeBron retires.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on, man. It's Bill Russell. Like,
especially-
I don't think LeBron's gonna feel
Slighted.
slighted like
No.
that.
Yeah.
Like, no, dude, that's Bill Russell. Like,
Nobody's
he
gonna be
already-
confused.
And it's already an organization that has a player who didn't play for them's number retired. So it's like, you
so
know,
did they?
yeah, because they retired Michael Jordan's number, 23.
Wait, the rest of the league, like, I mean, Chicago,
Yeah, I think
obviously,
that
but
was league wide, wasn't it?
No, Michael
No.
Jordan's number's not retired
I'm pretty sure.
league wide. Bill Russell's
That's-
the first
that's
one.
why-
to
Oh
be-
right, yeah.
That's why
LeBron.
LeBron wore it a couple
Yeah.
times.
So yeah, it's a bad look because you're like, even the Lakers are pushing back, you know. I mean, like, and
Yeah, man. If
for
the
NBA
Lakers can-
rivalries, you would expect like a
But-
team like the Lakers to be the one that would be against the Celtics.
They have
but
respect.
exactly. Have
Bill
some respect,
Russell, man.
Miami. I mean,
And it's not like LeBron can't wear number 6. He's grandfathered in.
yeah.
So anybody that already currently wears the number gets to keep it.
You know,
Why
what
not
you-
just retire it?
like,
You know,
I understand what
or,
LeBron.
I mean, they are retired. I mean,
Just
raise
raise it in the
you know.
rafters. I mean, give him. I mean, obviously they're going to still do the patch that all the other teams are going to do and all that and stuff. But it's just like, come on, just
So are they
I'm
gonna
sure-
raise 2 number 6s in the banners or something when they?
as far as I know, they're going to raise it
LeBron
at just
and-
LeBron. But enough backlash will change that.
Yeah.
So hopefully
Idiots.
there's enough backlash to get them to do the right thing. You can still retire number 6 for LeBron and still honor him after it's done. I mean,
Or, you know, you can still put him in your Hall of Fame. Like,
yeah,
I
I
get
mean,
that he won you 2 championships, but he was there for like 4 years and then he was
Yeah.
like,
because I think they retired Bosch's number as well.
I mean, D Wade seems like a little more important for your franchise.
Yeah, I mean, they've taken,
overall.
they want to take care of all those members of the big 3 and rightfully so. So it's just like, but
You don't need to retire all their numbers. Maybe D Wade, right? Because he's
Yeah.
pretty prolific for your
2
franchise.
championships is nice, but like,
Bill
goddamn.
Russell was more than just the basketball court. So
Right. And what he did, I mean, like what he did on the court speaks for itself of why it should be, but
yeah, I mean, he's the
Yeah, well-
first African American to be a head coach in league history, and he was a player coach, won 2 championships as a player coach.
like,
He's a Hall of Famer as a player and a coach.
and a person,
Yeah, dude. So
Hall of Fame person.
Right.
So just do it. Okay, yeah. Anyways,
I mean, it's still a cool story. It's just a little
Yeah, it's
weird
just-
that the Heat are doing it. You know.
yeah, I'm not a fan of their decision.
Yeah. And you know, I honestly don't think that's big enough news because I did not know about that until you told me about it. So
And I saw it just the other day.
yeah, because it happened like yesterday, I think. So
Yeah.
and then it's
so
yesterday, day before.
Yeah.
but let's move on from that and we can talk about our last 2 stories together, Katie and Kyrie.
Yeah. So reports are coming out that Brooklyn was asking for Tatum and Brown at least in return for KD, and rightfully so. That got declined.
But then they asked for, what was the other guy they asked for?
Robert Williams was
Williams,
listed
yeah.
as they won't trade him in any deal for KD. So, and I don't think
Why,
that
why not?
ascending big man, they want to keep their front line. He was that, because you don't want to give up Marcus Smart or him because they're your defensive heart and souls.
I get Marcus Smart.
So
and
plus
Brown,
KD wants to play with Marcus Smart.
No, I get not giving up Marcus Smart for him, but Williams, like
Younger player who's ascending,
I don't
probably
know,
posturing,
like,
probably raises the value of.
do you have
the trades.
Celtics? I get protecting like your two best guys, but do you really have three people on your team that
I don't even
you
think
think
that it's. I
would
don't
help
even
are
think
going to
that
help you more than KD?
I don't even think that Tatum and Brown are off limits to be per se. I just think that it's the package, including both of them, is where it
I
was.
get that I get that I totally understand.
And
I get that, but like
Well,
not you're saying you're
Robert
know,
Williams, yeah.
Robert, yeah, like
I think they
he's
just
off-
preferred it.
why is he off the tag? Why is he off the deal?
Uh,
Put him back on.
yeah, I think that I honestly think that they should probably say Jaylen Brown's off limits because I like Brown's game. I like Tatum as well, but I think
Yeah,
he'd
I
be the
mean,
one that I'd be more willing to
I
sacrifice.
get wanting to
Tatum
like
and Brown.
build around those guys in your Celtics. So you've kind of
Yeah.
always been that team that built up around your draft.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
Um,
saw
but
this as. I'm sorry. I don't know if you saw this as well, P, but they're saying that the 76ers and KD are showing mutual interest.
yeah. What I saw was they are on the
Hmm.
outside looking in on this
Mhm.
situation. There's a slight chance, but there's reluctance within the organization to move Tyrese Maxey. KD apparently did say he is intrigued with playing with Harden still. That I don't think obviously I don't think there's the bad blood between the two of them,
Sure.
especially now that KD and Kyrie also want out of the Nets.
Yeah.
I just think that Harden might have been ahead of the curve on him. I mean, and it does seem like the three players probably had a problem with Sean Marks and Steve Nash
Yeah.
in charge, since KD had said pretty much it's them or me. And the organization has said, well, we're going to keep them. I'm like, I like Nash.
I feel like the ultimatum kind of hurts him too in the trade talks.
Yeah. It's not a great look by any means.
Yeah.
Whenever
it feels dirty.
Trying to get your coach fired, it's
Mhm.
always a bad look.
I
But
think, man, with that one, I think he's just like really trying to like. He's like, no, you need to trade me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it so that you have to.
It just feels
because you can't put me next to him on the court now,
right.
like on the sideline of the court. You got to trade me.
because
But
I
I
know,
came out and openly criticized the coach and GM.
yeah, because
And I don't even think he dislikes Steve Nash that much.
they have a
at all.
relationship dating back to the Warriors because Nash was a part of that staff.
Yeah,
And I
so
know that Nash was hired on because of KD.
KD,
Yeah.
KD asked for
KD
Nash. Like,
built
that's
this
another.
team basically. didn't he?
Yeah, KD basically built this
So-
fucking team and is like,
I mean, the team did
Yeah,
do
peace.
out $60 million to bring on DeAndre Jordan just because he's friends with KD and Kyrie. But listen, like,
and they brought in the coach, and
It just it feels like dirty tactics to get traded.
yeah, but here's the thing. Like, okay, like whenever we talk about Jacksonville signing Christian Kirk to that outrageous contract,
Mhm.
Brooklyn is similar to Jacksonville because they are a shitty organization.
makes
they're
dumb
not-
decisions.
So,
but
like, to get players of this caliber, you have to be willing to fold to get them, is what it looked like. And I mean, because it was at the time, no team was really looking at Kyrie and being like, dude, we need to bring in Kyrie until it was attached to KD.
Yeah.
Like once KD became attached to Kyrie, then you had teams being like, all right, now we're talking. So, and it was really Brooklyn or bust. And I just think, yeah, they're just not a well-run organization, and They were
But, I
put in a
mean-
position to where it was like, okay, you're not a well-run organization. If you do this, this, and this, we'll come and bail you out.
Yeah.
I guess,
that
but
hurt.
I mean, I feel like Katie did make a lot of decisions of like who's on the team.
Yeah,
And
but can you
coach.
come in? Yeah, can you come in and shit the bed 2 years running and make a demand like that?
You know?
Kevin Durant, you get a little more leeway, I think.
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, I
Because,
get
like,
it,
I
but-
mean,
he
yeah.
is-
What has he done for him lately?
Well, I mean, he's played the most games out of the three of them, and don't forget when he signed there, he was over 30 years old with a torn Achilles on his resume that he had just freshly torn.
Exactly. Should he be making those kind of demands?
Yeah, absolutely, because he's the one with all the power in this situation. He was the one at the time who was like, I'm
mean,
leaving
kind
the
of,
No,
situation.
no, I'm talking about the like
Well,
demanding like people be fired now. I'm talking about what he's
Yeah.
doing now.
Sean, he has against the GM, I'd say he has a little bit just because it's like I haven't made the best moves as the GM. Like some of the stuff, like
But-
know that this guy is best friends with your star player, so why would you publicly go dog him to piss them both off?
I will say in his defense, like you're asking what he's done for the Nets. His average points per game for both seasons with the Nets, his lowest one is higher than any season he had with the Warriors.
Yeah, KD's
So he was putting
a
up
bona fide
points.
killer out there on the court. KD is
Definitely is.
like in your 2 playoff run, not this last one because you guys got swept, but again, the year before, I mean, KD kept you guys in that series against the eventual NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks with Kyrie and Harden both being out, and you guys were right there in it. I mean, his foot was on the line.
Is that the one that blew the 3-1?
No. They didn't blow a
They-
big
they
lead. It
weren't.
was a back and forth series, but I mean,
Oh.
They were never up that much.
like I said, they lost in overtime on a shot that he made they went to overtime because his foot was on the line, like his toe was. Otherwise, you're
That's
talking
on the
about
line.
well, I'm aware of that, but you're talking about a dude that was his first season after rupturing his Achilles, and he was playing the most minutes on the
He
team.
great. He great.
He single-handedly pushed the NBA champions to a game 7 and was in overtime in that game 7 to
Okay. You may have.
Yeah,
you
I
made
mean,
a point. You made
KD's
your point. You made your point.
Yeah.
I think
obviously it's not a
right.
good look when you're dogging those guys. I'm not a fan
yeah.
of dogging them, but I'm like,
Yeah, my only thing is like, you did build a lot of the team, and now you kind of
Yeah.
like that's the only gripe I kind of have with them.
Yeah.
well, since the Harden trade, he did not approve any of the he built the team they had until they traded James Harden. Then he didn't like the moves they made, even though I think Seth Curry's nice. Drummond came in and did nice things for him.
Sure.
So let's talk about the other net player on the trade block,
Kyrie,
Kyrie.
And the Lakers offering 2 firsts.
they're willing to go up to 2 first-round picks to acquire him.
Does he
I
want
mean,
to play with
that
LeBron
doesn't-
again?
Yeah, he wants to play with LeBron again. LeBron wants to play with him again. So
I
The
guess they
only-
squashed all that shit a long time ago.
Yeah, dude, Kyrie, it's the only time Kyrie's had success in his career.
I know.
Like Kyrie realized how tough it is to be like the
Oh,
dude to lead you to a championship. So he's like, I'll be Robin. I don't mind. Robin's not that bad, right? At least I'm out there kicking some ass. I'll be Robin to his.
as long as you guys don't expect me to show up every day, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
But
Sounds good.
if I'm the Lakers, I think the better avenue is just be like, hey, we'll give you 2 first-round picks, AD and Westbrook for KD and Kyrie. Just get them both.
Yeah.
They both want to play together. Kyrie and KD, they've said they still want to play together. I mean, obviously there are going to have to be other fillers in there, but because I don't think you bring Kyrie into the way the rest of this roster looks and be like, oh, this is a significantly better team. Because at least with Westbrook, he plays.
Yeah.
True.
And like Westbrook did, his shooting and all that just is exasperated next to LeBron, but really it's not far off from his career averages, what he did last year. He wasn't too terribly far off. So it was real. You got the player you expected to get with Westbrook. So it's like, what did you expect the result to be?
Okay. Yeah.
No, and it's like, I mean, if you have Kyrie and KD, or Anthony Davis next to LeBron, it's All right, so we got him surrounded by glass and unreliable.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem great to me. So
Yeah. But I mean, hey, man, it's KD. Could, with LeBron.
no, they're all good players, and I'm not saying they're not. I mean, it's just
That would be something.
I wouldn't be able to trust the Lakers team with Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, who's 38. That's just not the team I trust without a bunch. They don't have a good number of shooters with around them unless they are able to land maybe a Joe Harris in the deal to get Kyrie.
Okay.
And then you're going to have to give up something else than the 2 first-round picks and more than likely Westbrook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably going to have to give up THT.
I mean, yeah. We'll see. We'll see if LeBron wants to do it. We'll see how bad LeBron wants to do it.
Yeah, I
It'll
definitely
happen.
think that by mid-season, Kyrie is a Laker. I'm not saying I don't think it is. I'm just saying I probably wouldn't surround LeBron with those two at this stage.
Well, you're not LeBron, okay? LeBron is going to do what he wants to do.
I would just say,
And the Lakers are going to do what he wants to do.
No, and I agree with that. I think, and that's they should be doing. But you can't be mad around playoff time when you're watching it again.
He's already won them an asterisk. I mean, a championship.
Thank you for coming around, Sam.
I'm not. I don't.
You
agree
did
with
it
this.
already. He already came around.
Yeah, no.
He came around. Now
That was in jest. I said that in jest.
You didn't say knock knock or LOL.
Yeah, well, my sarcasm is dry, I know, but it should have come through still. All right. He's won them a championship. That's why you think they should listen to everything he says, right? Because he won them a championship already. So listen to LeBron, build his team.
Well, and nobody else in the
happened.
organization knows what the fuck they're doing. I mean, you have an agent being your GM,
That's true.
Rob Pelinka. I mean,
Yeah.
he hasn't
Well,
made any moves that have maybe be like, dude, this dude's killing it right now.
Right.
This dude's doing awesome. Because all the big moves they really
the
made
Lakers
were
front
by
office
Magic.
is all infighting anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the last big good moves they made were when Magic Johnson was at the helm.
That's true.
So Rob Pelinka has not done anything to really wow me. So, because I mean, yeah, I think Magic had stepped down before the AD trade got finalized, but I'm pretty sure he had the groundwork laid there since they had been pursuing him heavily.
I don't. Hey, Serena Williams
Ooh,
retiring.
She
You
did.
know,
She
None of
did.
us watch tennis, but hey,
Great career.
congrats to her on being one of the most prolific female athletes
Yeah.
ever.
All time,
So,
absolutely awesome.
Well,
Very
yeah,
dominant.
just
Well, and to be called like the hands down, like she is the hands down best female tennis player of all time. It's not,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
it's not
you
even
know,
it's not even a fucking debate. Like
yeah. I mean, it's
you-
kind of tough to think of
when you
somebody-
have that kind of career,
Mm.
like that's like Gretzky shit. You know,
Yeah.
She's phenomenal. So
it's Gretzky, Brady, and Serena, and Ali.
Yeah.
God, I
Yeah.
hate saying
the
Brady.
Williams sisters is just phenomenal athletes.
Yeah.
Great at the sport of tennis.
I know,
Freaks,
man. Yeah.
absolute freaks.
Yeah, so it's
When
awesome.
you saw Venus, yeah, because when Venus came about, she kind of took the world by storm.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, she's got a little sister who also plays too. And you're like, oh shit, the little sister is like somehow even better. You're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Okay. But yeah.
Crazy
so-
because them and Tiger were around the same time coming up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
Very big. Yeah, very big for black athletes in sports that we don't, traditionally-
yeah, it's
that
awesome.
they didn't have a lot of representation in. So yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, just congrats to her, and I just want
absolutely.
to throw that
Sure,
out there,
yeah.
even though none of us know a damn thing about tennis or
Yeah.
watch it.
We know she
I
was
haven't-
awesome.
I haven't
He
watched
was
tennis
awesome.
since I was young, and I only watched tennis when I was young because my parents liked tennis. So
Yeah,
I played a lot. We've all played a lot of Mario Tennis.
yeah.
That was-
Hey, I
was great.
played one season of tennis in high school. So
Hey, there you go. I played Switch tennis just yesterday.
I did
Me and my
too.
daughter played some
Nice.
Switch tennis.
Me and my sister-in-law.
Hey, man.
yeah.
So
So
that's gonna be it for this week. P, you got a question?
Question? Hey, now that we've got some semblance of football back, what was the most impressive thing you guys saw out there on the football field?
Aiden
That's,
Hutchinson.
that's a good question. I like that answer.
Aiden was awesome.
Yeah, he did
part.
look good.
So
But yeah,
All right. Well, then, you know.
don't forget to like, comment,
Yeah.
subscribe, hit that bell that Sam loves.
Sam is a big fan of the notification bell, so please hit it for him.
Smash it. I want you to smash that bell.
I want you to smash it to smithereens.
Don't get
Yeah,
violent.
we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, we will. Whether they want to see us or not.